Second term at Werribee, it's North Melbourne by 34 points. Can Box Hill battle back?
Clearance from Davies Uniacke will deny them initially through the hands of Garner, who could have had a look at a third, and Miles gets the free and might get some more ground for his troubles. Garner going at it off the footy with heavily. Miles is normally his way, the short kick laterally for Brand, who's been involved in probably too much of Box Hill's ball movement earlier. Howe's kick just trails over the head. They'll try and launch some run from the back. More to Miles, and now hitting up Nash.
That's more like it, isn't it? That's Box Hill football.
Nash will send it to a 2-on-2. O'Brien pushed out of it, worked its way to Whitecross, has the ball knocked out of his hands by Nielsen, and he's going to serve up a gift to start the Hawks' second quarter.
Yeah, that was better movement from Box Hill then. They were able to take the game on, move it quickly, but hold on to the footy as well, and that's what they've struggled to do, and now they have a kick directly in front of goal.
And you'd imagine that speed of ball movement. Nielsen stood the mark. Hawks had players rushing forward, and he's just panicked and slapped the ball out of the hands of this man, Brendan Whitecross. His 72nd VFL game today to go with 107 at AFL level. He's got both the Hawks goals, and they're starting to eat into the Roos lead.
And Ali, the difference stark from the opening minute. Their ball movement, they worked the angles, they moved it on quickly and put the North defence under pressure. Yeah,
it's the first time we've really seen Box Hill move the footy like that all day today. They moved it quickly throughout the, this close wing, and it was good to see him get a quick inside 50.
And Whitecross does shark the tap from Bruce. Things starting to turn here at Werribee. Towards half forward, Nash got his hands on the football, dished it off. But a strong tackle laid by Davies Uniacke prevents Warple from breaking free. In that first quarter, the Hawks went inside 59 times for 8 possessions inside 50. They just couldn't get their hands on the ball when it went in there. If they can get it in a bit more quickly and more directly, Ellie, it'll give their forwards more of a chance.
It will, and they just need to find that short target and hit it up and take their time and not bomb it down the line like they have been.
So Braden Bruce lays the tackle on Warple, wins the free kick. Now it's up to Box Hill to push back and try to make ball movement difficult for the Kangaroos. Moore goes up athletically, takes a one-handed grab, and he's got 2 options. Wide open inside forward 50. He'll go long. He finds Warple, who goes tight to the pocket. This is going to be a tricky kick here for Hanrahan, so he wants to give it off, and options just lining up at the top of the goal square. O'Brien and the Hawks with all the momentum early in the second term as they look to battle back.
They managed to do what North Melbourne were doing in that first quarter. They got their numbers back really quickly and set up that zone straight away. I think they're starting with an extra off the square as well at the start of the quarter, so I think that's helping them and being able to move it forward nice and quickly.
This is why they've been such a great team over so many years. Box Hill, their ability to adapt and adjust during games. And they've kicked the last 3 of the game. So the pressure now on North Melbourne. Nathan Templeton was in their huddle at quarter time. What was the message?
Well, David Loader will be very disappointed with the start of this quarter, but obviously in the first term, very happy with North Melbourne's pressure. He made an interesting point, though, because they're repeatedly getting these turnovers and repeat entries, it means their forward line's very clogged. So he told his players when they are 60, 70 metres out from goal, just be patient and wait for an option to pop up. We mentioned Taylor Garner has got a nasty cut on the back of his head. He is fine, but it could be one of those tricky ones for the medical staff to stem the blood flow. And interesting to see Matt Jack Daw sitting on the North Melbourne bench. He's been rested from their AFL side for tomorrow, but he's helping out with a bit of coaching today on the bench.
15 possessions to 2 thus far in favour of the Hawks. North trying to turn it over. They will. Ahern, Hibbard, Zerha to the outside. Here's Flash Gordon. He fumbles it way over the line. Exciting to see Gordon Narrier. Hasn't had a lot of possessions, but his influence in the contest, that turnover at half-back to create that goal early in the first quarter, highlighted North's high-octane start to this one. Bruce to the front again. Walker sweeps through, can't get through the second tackle. Good initiative at the stoppage, but even better from Whitecross. He's been huge. 2 goals and a big stop there.
So now the pressure on North Melbourne. What can they do to adjust and lift their intensity? Because Box Hill are fighting their way back into the game. Whitecross kicks it long. And Mackay, good strong hands.
He used his body really well in that contest and just managed to get in the right position at the right time to outmark it.
Kick it high to a big pack of players inside 50. Larkey, speaking of strong hands, it's been a fantastic marking display so far from Nick Larkey and Ben Mackay in particular. Larkey just copping one in the left eye.
Again, it was another strong lead-up mark, as we see here. He's come through the contest and copped a bit of a knock as he's come down. Nothing too much in it, but I back him in this one to go back and kick it.
Just got a finger in the eye there from Caden Brand. So a chance to kick his second for the afternoon. He's kicked 15-7 for the season, 36-17 in his VFL career. He's a fantastic kick for goal generally. And that fixed that. A mark to Bruce, who is having an enormous influence. Dishes off the handball. Zerha kicks his third. Some great individual acts in that play. Ali, Mackay, Larkey, Bruce, and then Zerha the finish.
I would have liked to have seen Bruce going back and kick that one then. He almost deserves the goal. He's been phenomenal today. And to have that mark in their goal square, it's, you know, a bit silly, and he shouldn't be able to do stuff like that. Box Hill should be able to contest that footy and bring it to ground.
As a gun midfielder yourself, that statement surprises me, Ellie. I would have thought being able to feed off the ruckman, it's not a bad way to be.
I love those goals. They're good ones to get, but, you know, give the ruck what they can get.
Morgan elected to fly. Schoenmakers, Hanrahan fumbled it, will regather. Handball through a keyhole for Nash, who's going to try and wind up, kick this around his body, can't work it back, and slid through the hands of Hibberd. The plus-minus in the Bruce-Pitternet battle, one of the true one-on-one contests you can judge in modern football. 6 possessions to 1. Bruce has had 15 hit-outs so far, 7 of them to advantage. And involved in that third goal there for Zerha as Hibberd gets it out of defensive 50. Bruce pushed under it on this occasion. Bit better physical play there from Mark Pitternet to deny the big Queenslander.
What a dominant influence he's been so far in this match, Braden Bruce. Mark Pitternet really needing the lift here for his team. They go at it. Pitternet gets to the front. More good strong body work, wins the football. White cross under pressure, tried to get it to Miles, it was cut off. Good work there from Jansen. Holmes the beneficiary. He finds Zerha on the wing. Box Hill get numbers back. As you can see, the brown and gold jumpers streaming from right to left on your screen. And Zerha with a bullet to Will Walker at half forward. Beautiful kick. And next down the line is Naria. Touched off the boot, play on. Hibberd grabs it at 50, attacks the goal square. Fist from behind came from Willsmore. Junker dispossessed. Coming through there was Jones. Moore leaves it, taken by Brolick. Now Moore, he's immediately tackled. Pressure on the Box Hill defence. Evans involved. Quick kick. And the Hawks work it back to the wing and find the line.
They got away with one then, Box Hill. North Melbourne should have almost marked that one in the square. I think a bit of miscommunication between the two forwards, but it was good to see Box Hill defend hard and get the ball cleared.
Alistair Clarkson, Damien Carroll and Adam Uze from the Hawks Brains Trust looking on. Of course, they've got West Coast tomorrow afternoon. The AFL is Walker from the back of the stoppage, works his way around Whitecross, sends it forward for Hayden, who's denied in the contest by Jones. Hayden, another of the athletic players that the Kangaroos have brought in via the draft over the last couple of years. He broke Nick Natanui's vertical jump record at the draft combine last year. Pick 62 in the national draft. Another product of the Hale School, so same school in Perth that's produced Gordon Naria for the Kangaroos. Walker involved again. Moore, Lovell let him go for it. Had a couple of roos sandwich him. Poking the eye perhaps there for the captain in Jansen, who's clutching the eye at the back of the contest as play goes on. Clearing kick from Jones. One-on-one down the line. Ross bobbles it. Maybe should be paid it. Against Murphy, Hibberd. Hanrahan, who's been busy but just a little bit fumbly. Hibberd forces it forward. Hayden.
It's been good pressure from both teams.
Sorry, Ellie. Huge day in the Peter Jackson VFL this afternoon. A couple other games currently in progress. 20-point lead to the Bombers over the Northern Blues at Icon Park in that one. Port Melbourne going head-to-head with the Casey Demons and certainly having a dominance in terms of scoring shots, but just a 3-point lead.
Holmes, quick hands. Ends up with Hayden. Spears a kick low towards the pocket. Harmlessly over the line. There's Nick Larkey on screen. Kicked a goal in the opening term. North kicking the first 6 of the game to lead by 40 points. Take a look at that contested mark. Tally, 8-0 tells a story as well. Larkey, Mackay and Bruce all dominant in the air. There is Bruce again, just work pitting it off the football, flips it out. Ahern to Hibbard from a standing start. Heads goalward, Larky in good position. It's touched off the boot. Sailed through for a goal, but it'll be a minor score.
They almost had too many options to choose from to handball that footy back to then. They were all lined up ready to have a shot on goal.
And Whitecross has stepped out of the goal square. So it's going to be a ball up at the top of the square. So Box Hill making a run early in this second term. They kicked the last goal of the opening quarter, the first two in this second term to get it back to 22 points. But the last 5 or 6 minutes, North Melbourne have steadied and contest back in their control.
Ahern sandwiched by Headley and Miles. And a man who's thoroughly deserving of an AFL debut, hopefully sooner than later. 2 ACLs, either end of 2016 when at the Giants. Having some good form and continuity strung together. So free kick will go the way of the Hawks. Miles goes wide. Nash presents. Zerha, who's already kicked 3. Be hard to wrestle free of the footy on this occasion.
It's been really good pressure early on in this quarter between the two teams. It's good to see Box Hill have a bit more fight in what they're doing, but they just can't seem to get it past the halfway mark here.
Hawks with 3 of the last 4 in the game. Ahern with a quick kick. Larky again. Was he taken high? Wanted the free kick. Garner emerges. Hayden gets through a couple. Outstanding work in traffic. Oh, that's a superb goal.
So Kyron Hayden's first goal in VFL football, a memorable one. What a talent. Had OP throughout 2016, was taken at pick 62 in last year's draft, then had shoulder surgery in December, which delayed his start. He's just working on his fitness, building his tank. He's got some class. Beautiful finish. Margin back out to 34. Box Hill need to start winning more clearances. O'Rourke stripped of the football. Try to work it forward through O'Brien. Gets it inside 50. Schoenmakers against Nielsen. Free kick going to the North Melbourne defender, Nielsen.
They really needed to get that centre clearance, and Box Hill, Bruce wasn't in it, so they really needed to make the most of that advantage there.
And Daniel Nielsen goes from being devastated to a little bit more pleased. He thought he'd given the free kick away and was standing there with that look of despair on his face until he realised it was actually his ball. Not often it's a holding the man decision against the player in front. By ruling that Schoenmakers was reaching behind and had a piece of Nielsen. So midway through this second term, North Melbourne back in control of the contest after Box Hill started this second term in fine fashion. Margin back out to 34 points. Box Hill find another surge. They're going to start needing to win contested ball, but Holmes wins this one. Here's Narrier at the back. He's got some speed. He's got Larky over the top. Gets it to him. Here goes Gordon Narrier. Flash Gordon with the finish. Ellie, doesn't Gordon Narrier look a prospect? Just silky.
How was the speed and the ability to get the footy in close, handball it over the top and move on, and then at a high speed to hit that kick? That's pretty impressive stuff. He's shown some class today.
Pace, courage and a left foot. It's a powerful package. Cherry into the ruck for the Roos, who will get the clearance. Narry's direct opponent, Miles, marked the touch ball, gave it to Brolick. He showed a bit too much of it for the speedy Williams against the veteran Whitecross. And it's all working for North. Rippon intercepts the kick off the ground. His kick works its way forward. Hawks have got the numbers. Can they communicate, though? Evans works his way around a couple, met by Narrier to Brolick. Handball forward, dangerous for Whitecross. Back to Evans. And North in really aggressive defensive positions. Mark to Murphy in front of Jackson Ross. Murphy will continue the line of play and find Ahern, who will roll and go. Put it to a dangerous spot. Bruce knocked out of his way at the fall. Davies Uniacke just couldn't get the angle right, but North again looking dangerous. I feel like we haven't been able to say this for a couple of years, but it's fun to watch this team play at the moment.
Yeah, it's really exciting stuff from North at the moment. They're taking the game on and they're just showing some class and some really exciting stuff.
Brand to O'Brien. Can the Hawks get some fast movement here. They're flooding forward. O'Rourke to Willsmore, who's got a thumping boot, but it's smothered beautifully by Hogan. Turnover comes. Davies-Uniacke tries to spin through a couple of tackles, can't do so. Ball spills free. Ahern with strength wins the football. Williams, a fumble, and O'Rourke pounces. Whitecross sweeping handball to Brolick. Now Miles on the outer side. He's got a couple of runners over the top. Ross turns the kick over straight to Morgan. Good pressure, good attack on the ball from Schoenmakers, wins it back, gets it to Hams. Hams over the top to Murphy. Coming in the other direction was Cunningham. Man alone at the top of the goal square is Connor Nash. And Boxhill a chance to go back and kick their fourth.
They just kept pushing then and tried, and it just paid off in the end for them. So it was good to see them back their confidence, keep moving forward. Their pressure was really good, and to spot a man 15 metres out was really impressive.
So Connor Nash, who was first spotted playing Gaelic football at the age of 15, represented Ireland in rugby at under 18 level. Kicks his first this afternoon.
And we're back with Bruce in the middle of the ground, and hopefully he can get another centre clearance here and get the ball moving forward for North. He's been really exciting today.
20 hit-outs, make it 21. If you say that to advantage, it's 11 as Rippon flies off the back of the square, as did Lovell, who backheeled it. Hanrahan, fumbly. Hams will get the clearing ball. O'Brien in the one-on-one. Murphy read it best, was thrown out of it, wanted the free kick. O'Brien wears the contact. Morgan wears the footy. Hibbert will go back into that direction. Morgan's pacey, inboard, taking the contact was Murphy. Naria denied. Who can be cleanest? Ahern has been all day so far to the outside. Walker just fishes the kick forward. Zerha has options out the back. He can balance this kick. It just needs to sit for Cherry. Dish off. Larkey gets the gift.
More exciting ball movement from the Roos. Great work from Walker.
And what's helping North at the moment is their ability to get numbers to each contest, to put the pressure on, and then just to spread from the contest, and that's their ability to get numbers out the back.
Here's Rippon coming in off the back of the square again. Pitternet tries to get the hands free and does. Smothered off Lovell's boot by Rippon. Going in was Ahern again with strength, did well. Fed it back towards Murphy, inside 50. Off the hands of Cherry. Again, North dangerous. This is Zerha. Can he gather and finish? Off the post. 3 goals, 1 to Cam Zerha in this opening half. There's Tim O'Brien receiving some treatment. So the margin at 42 points as we head towards half-time at Avalon Airport Oval here in Werribee. 7's VFL match of the day. North Melbourne in control of Box Hill.
An interesting attempt to exit 50. Jones, too much on the handball for Hanrahan. So a couple of the young Hawks failing to link up there. Harry Jones playing his 5th VFL game today, product of Wodonga and the Murray under-18s, which the Wodonga Bulldogs, the same junior club as Kangaroos, Jack Siebel and Kane Turner. The best players back in round 6 against Casey. Harry Jones, he's averaging 16 possessions and 4 tackles a game. North go into a dangerous place again. Camped in front of Cherry with Schoenmakers. So Ryan Schoenmakers taking the safe option through the hands of Nash, the most recent goal kicker, Mackay. And ball forward for Hayden. Has to take on the contact, did well against Hams. Zerha, powerful kick. Sets it up. Can Naria get a fly at it? Does. Creates the spoil. Larkey evades. Larkey kicks. Larkey's got 3. They're on fire, the Roos.
So much to like from these North Melbourne youngsters. It's the first and second year players getting it done for them in this opening half. Margin out to 8 goals. They have been outstanding. Pitnet's got to stand and wait as Bruce comes at him and wins the tap once again. Morgan this time off the back of the square. Inside 50 to Larkey again. This Box Hill Hawks defence with Schoenmakers thrown back under enormous pressure when the football's just coming in at that sort of speed.
They need to be a bit more tighter on their defenders. The defenders need to be a bit more tighter on their forwards, I should say. They're just giving them too much space, and even off the back of the contest there, where they're running off the half-back flank, being able to kick the ball into 50 and almost have an uncontested mark, it's just the story of the day so far.
So Nick Larkey for goal number 4, chance to kick his 3rd for the quarter. They are superb this afternoon, the Kangaroos, making a big statement. 4 goals to Nick Larkey. He's really come good since he chatted to us, Ellie.
Yeah, it must have been the conversation you guys have had with him.
Just a bit of a pep talk.
He's just been really impressive, and his ability to lead up and get dangerous around the contest as well as, you know, is why he's been able to get some goals on the board.
Matches the 4 he kicked in round 6 against Casey and round 9 against the Northern Blues last year. Still got a half a footy to add more. Hanrahan kicks off the line, lead from Ross. Head of Cunningham. First year Hawthorn listed player Jackson Ross, Hailbury College in the Eastern under-18s, finds Will Hams down the line with a bit of taping on that left elbow. Going to try and load up, find some targets. Langford, Pitternet. At the fall, Davies Uniacke to Nielsen, kick smothered to work from Big Connor Nash, who's learning his craft at the moment. This foreign coat for the former Gaelic footballer as a forward, and doing some damage this year. Kicked 3 goals back in round 3 and a couple in round 5. Having a few hamstring issues last year and playing mostly in defence. O'Rourke tries to get through the stoppage. Holmes taken to ground. Maybe didn't get boot to ball either. Murphy in there for the Hawks. Off the ground goes Ross. Rippon, ridden into the turf. Has to get the handball free. Morgan, they work it well, the Kangas. Mackay, Junker. Hayden, strong hands.
It was a really smart kick by North then, not to be able to blaze it down the line. They didn't have many numbers there, so it was smart to have that short hit-up option.
Let's head boundary side, Nathan Templeton.
Yeah, a bit of relief for the Hawks. Tim O'Brien did come off with a sore right ankle. He's had it checked out. He's just been on the boundary doing a bit of zigzagging, and he is okay to come back on.
Pitternet and Bruce. Bruce again with strength and a beautiful hit out to Hayden, who can flip it to Rippon. Rippon through the middle. He's got a couple of runners. Hibbard can go to Narrier. Narrier will want to take Heatherly on with speed. He's got a man over the top. Another exciting build-up. Narrier calls for it. He's a left footer, brings it back inboard to Walker, who spent it before he had it. That opened the door, and Heatherly can tumble it back towards the wing. 3-on-2 in favour of the Roos. Davies Uniacke, Hibbard, Hogan. Backtracks to Cunningham. Through the hands of Garner. Jansen came through, opened the door for Garner at 50. Can chip it up towards Larkey again. He's been marking everything in this second term, almost reeled that one in. Schoenmaker's now in trouble at ground level. Larkey wraps him up, rolls him over. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. Larkey almost another grab.
Yeah, it was really good body work from him. He was almost a bit stiff not to get a free kick then, but his ability to hold his position in the front of the contest is what's making it work for him.
Bruce, another hit out. Jansen, the skipper, fumbles free. Clean was Holmes. A couple of Hawks wrestling to the deck, and that usually needs a couple to stop Nash Holmes in his tracks. 25th VFL game today. Having a wonderful season. Leading hardball player in the competition. Cherry lets it go, getting in the back and happy to rush it through as Brand. Larkey tried to put the brakes on and get the free kick for the rush behind. Umpire having none of it. North to 80 points inside half-time.
It's been an extraordinary performance. Box Hill now looking to work it out from their own defensive 50, which has been easier said than done today. This is Nick Evans. Kick long down the line, which suits North just fine. Nielsen couldn't quite complete the mark. Langford stripped of the football. Good attack from Hogan. Hayden back inside 50. Larkey again. This time he's got Brand for company. Four goals to Nick Larkey. When you get that sort of supply inside 50, 17 for the term. Clearance is 15-9. That's where it's all started for North today. It started around the stoppages. They've dominated in close. We said at the start of the day that North's best chance to win this game was to dominate on the inside. Box Hill generally an outside team. They've just been denied it today. Had a game plan, the Kangas, and they've executed it perfectly.
Yeah, clearance is 28-17, and North plus 25 in contested ball. Bruce to the back. Walker. Holmes comes through. Willsmore gets the clearing kick, but only momentarily as Mackay read it beautifully off the boot, pressing up in defence. He's got a short option, gassing towards him. It's Williams. Goes against Moore. Well done, Moore. Gets it in. Has to be careful not to drag it. In the end, the Hawks skipper did well to halve the contest. Team of the Year player last year, Andrew Moore, has taken over the captaincy with Dave Mirror now on Hawthorn's rookie list. Pitternet, read better by Walker. Pitternet gets it back, gets the kick to Murphy. Worn closely by Hogan. And caught in a Nash sandwich. So North, after beating Port Melbourne last week by 8 points, admittedly in different conditions, but with 70 points, have gone well past that before half-time here. And a superb performance, 6 goals to 1 in the opening quarter. Hawthorn kicked the opening 2 goals of the term to get it back to 22 points and had some momentum. North have kicked 6 of the last 7, 3 of them to Nick Larkey.
Bruce and Pitternet, neither an effective tap. Hitting it at speed was Willsmore, but couldn't break the tackle. Langford likewise, he stripped of it. Bruce so good below his knees, almost farmed it out. Holmes did. Rippon's going to get run down from behind. Nielsen gets on the end of it. He has a flying shot at goal, and they've got another. Dan Nielsen kicks his first for the season, the second of his VFL career, and the margin out to 61 points. It's just been an extraordinary half of football from the Kangas, Ollie Blackburn.
Yeah, it really has been, and players like Larkey who have the ability to keep the ball in their forward 50 and make a contest. They're not getting out-marked or anything down there, and if they are kicking it to one-on-ones, their ability to bring the ball to ground has been what's, their ability to kick goals from, the stoppages and around the ground.
The role of the ruckman is debated in modern football, isn't it? How valuable are they? But when you get an old-school ruckman like Braden Bruce who can dominate the way he is, they just become invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. He's giving him silver service at the moment, and it's amazing to see that, every time he's going up, he's having the ability to palm the ball down to one of his midfielders.
Langford sharked it then, O'Rourke, Hanrahan, but it's all in hope by hand in there for the Hawks. Rippon's kick smothered. Can that create something? Ross. Good follow-up from Pitternet. O'Rourke now to the outside. Hanrahan, who's not having a good day by foot. This ball slides wide. Mackay reads it. Gallops forward. At the back, Zerha. Tackles O'Rourke, coming through Brolick. Hanrahan in there again. Garner over the top of Miles.
One player I'd like to see a bit more from today is Will Langford. He hasn't had much. He's only had 4 disposals today at 50% efficiency, so he probably needs to get himself into the game a bit more. As we can see, he's in the midfield at the moment.
Surprisingly quiet for a man of his esteem. 52nd VFL game today to go with 69 at AFL level, which of course included that magnificent 2014 finals campaign. As O'Brien sends it deep, creates the foot race, bouncing ball, winning it back. Murphy with Howe in pursuit, spins away. Good defence from Howe. Just got the hand in on it. He's made some important plays in this quarter. Dan Howe, he was the one to set up that shot at goal for Connor Nash earlier on, and this time will lock it in the Hawks forward line. They desperately need a goal before half-time.
Contested marks 9-0. Remember at the start of the day I said these were the 2 best contested marking teams in the competition. Box Hill haven't taken a contested mark in almost a half of football. It's been extraordinary from North Melbourne. Bruce again wins it out of the middle. Out of the ruck contest rather, and kicks it to the middle where he finds Garner. Garner's got a man cruising to the outside. Hibbert has got Hanrahan for company, but he's got support. Jansen. Hogan. And look inboard to Rippon or go direct towards full forward. He takes the latter option. Fist from Brand at the back. Willsmore at the front with some work to do. Swooping in was Rippon. Handball missed the target. Show and makers. Brand. Now Evans. Looks for an option to the outer side of the ground. He's got a couple. Mark taken by Hanrahan.
Hemmed in. Goes corridor. Low down for Howe. Hawks need to keep it moving with time ticking down. Miles. Corralled by Garner will spread it wide and open things up for Whitecross, who's got a couple. He's got a man working his way into the pocket in Moore and now gets there. And the North players didn't guard the mark. Moore gallops forward, disciplined kick. Nielsen goes punch when he perhaps should have marked. Langford, Warple, Well, that was right there for James Warple. Misses an absolute sitter. And that sums up the opening half for the Hawks.
Morgan.
Mark's it, that's it.
Goes short to the back pocket and finds Murphy. As Nudge mentioned, a great story. He came down to North Melbourne to try out for their VFL team and ended up on their AFL list. That's a real old school story. Morgan. Free kick in the back. Free kick to Cherry. Gee, they've got some big man options, haven't they, North Melbourne? And you think they've got the luxury of playing the likes of Ben Mackay and Dan Nielsen, and up until today, Sam Durden in their back half as well. What a first half of football from the Kangas. They lead by 10 goals at the half. North Melbourne 13-8-86, Box Hill 4-2-26 on 7's VFL Match of the Day.